Audio's bad.
You said it's banned?
Bad.
Oh,
Audio's bad.
Let's see now. Let me see.
Is that it?
Let's see.
From the phone. Or it's gonna cause a feedback loop though.
No, let's see.
Isn't that it right there?
No, that's the old one. No, now it's the new one now. Now it's there. Yeah, I hear it. No, it's in my ears.
Oh,
Yeah.
I swear I was doing Okay, no, it's fine. I'll check out
Yeah,
that
yeah.
one.
I hear it though. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, you said it's great, a lot
All
better.
right.
So maybe it was just
All
that
right.
initial.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna run it back. All right. So I just need your attention again. Know that was thing. Another 15 minutes. All right. Just to run it back. Our audio was messed up for online. All right. So just give us another about 15, 20 minutes and everybody will be feasting and enjoying the rest of the night. All right. Just giving God, the Most High, your creator, some attention real quick. All right. Before we continue on with our night. Say tough for it. Oh, it doesn't even fit in here. Sorry, it's not even the charger for it.
That's not a shirt. Yo, look right here on the side, right here.
No, this doesn't fit in the phone, period.
Oh, you need that one to charge.
All right. All right. So once again, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. We're going to go into 1 Corinthians 14 and 40.
Let all things be done decently and in order.
All right. So let all things be done decently in order. So we know God is a person of order. That's why he gave you a calendar. All right. He gave you a day of birth. All right. You're supposed to have a cycle where that always comes around to the same time. All right. There's a disorder in the earth because, as you see, your birthday is not going to happen next year on the same day of the week. All right. Even though it's going to be on the same month and the same day of the month, it's not going to be on the same day of the week, which everything is supposed to line up. All right. So there's not a proper order. All right. But going back to what we're saying about order is supposed to be all throughout your life, not just in the church, not just for calendar. Everything you're doing should have an order. Any successful person, LeBron James, all right, what do they talk about LeBron James in sports? Anything, he has an order. He has a certain thing that he does all the time, all right, a resume, all right, specifics. The greatest people, they have order to themselves. They have a way that they go about stuff. If you're going to be great in this world, you have to have great order. professional players, why are they professional? Because they're not just people who go outside and play games when they want and play the sport when they want. They're people of order. They practice it. Everything's in order. They go and they work on their skills. They make sure that everything is in order and lined up, that when they could go on the court, they could perform. All right. Or when they go on the field, they can perform. Or when they go in the pool, they can perform. All right. Or when they fly in the sky, they can perform. And anything that they do, they want to have order. All right. So this is something you can take into all aspects of your life, to have order. All right. The first place order can start is in your house, in your own very room. All right. Ordering your rooms. All right. If your rooms and things is not in order, then how can you begin to order everything else outside of you? All right. So everything should be in a proper order. That's why when you come to the church, every time, what do you see? The church is always in a proper order for you guys. All right. There's never a time you're coming here, everything's all over the place. You can't just come and use it. Every time you come here, everything's refreshed, renewed for you. All right. Showing proper order. All right. So we're going to go into the definition of decently. All right. Everything should be done decently and in order. All right.
So definition for decently out of the Strongs, it's Greek word G2156, an adverb from G2158, decorously, decently, honestly.
All right. So decorously. All right. So we're going to see what decently means decorously. All right. So let all things be done decently and in order. Because guess what? You can play this little game and be like, you know what? Our room's in order. Everything's cleaned up. But guess what? Everything could what? You didn't add any spunk to it. You didn't add any spice to it. You didn't paint anything up. It's just, yeah, everything's out of sight and order. But did you decorate? All right. And that's what we're going to see. So we're going to go into decorously etymology.
Okay, this is the etymology for decorously. Etymology, decorous, an adjective. From 1660s, suitable, appropriate. 1670s, characterized by or notable for decorum, formerly polite and proper. From Latin decorus, becoming seemingly fitting, proper. From decus, genitive decorus, an ornament. To decorate, adorn, embellish, beautify. From pi root dec, to take, accept, on the notion of to add grace. Related, decorously, decorousness.
All right. So decorous, all right, means suitable and appropriate. All right. That word decorous is also related to decorate. All right. What does that mean? All right. Seemingly fitting, proper. When you decorate something, you're making it proper, fittingly. All right. Without decoration, it could be just in order. All right. But decently and in order means you're adding decoration. It doesn't mean that. Did you? Someone say something? Oh. No, hey, if someone disagrees, please speak up. All right. So decorously. All right. So when you have a room, yes, when you get a home, everything's in order. That's why you rented the place. That's why you bought the place. But it can't stay like that. Guess what you're like? You're like, to make it suitable and proper for me, what do? You decorate. All right. That's decently and in order. All right. So you going to school on time, that's order. Okay. But you going to school on time and having good grades, that's decently and in order. You get what I'm saying? Because you can go to school, you could be like, I'm there all the time, I'm handing in all the stuff. All right. But if you're not trying your best, all right, if you're not decorating your report card and A's and things of that nature, it's not done decently and in order. And God expects us to do things in a decently and orderly fashion. All right. That means when we do things, all right, it has a certain spice to it, decoration to it. All right. If you're going somewhere, you're supposed to be like, you know what? I went here and I got what? All these titles, all these medals, all this stuff to show that when I went there, I was doing decently and I was in order.
That's what they call it. The decorated
Yeah. All right. You have all that stuff to show, you weren't just, medals, everything. All right. So we have to understand these things. This goes down even into your lives, schools, anyone, adults, everybody. you can be better. If you're mad right now, if you came home consistently for 3 years with a decorated report card, I bet you right now your parent will have anything that they can give you by the time you're of age. Your car, anything. You're going to school, you're going to college. They're gonna be like, yo, I'm gonna try to help you get that. Why? Because you're coming home with decorated stuff. You're saying, look, when you sent me out, look what I came back with. In order and decorated. What can he say now? What can they say now? I need this. I need insurance for this, or I can't go to school. They're gonna be like, yo, I gotta get it for you. All right. I just went and when I was on my trip, I just visited a family. A person's there, they're singing, and they're gonna go to the White House. They don't have money to go to the White House, but guess what? Their singing is doing so much to go to the White House. Everyone's like, yo, we're gonna donate to send you there because you're doing good. How can you have that opportunity? How come we not gonna pitch in to make sure you go there? Because the person's doing things decently in order. So they're like, yo, we want you to sing, come to the White House and sing. All right, but to go there, there's some money. Your family's gonna have no problem giving you. What do you need? Everyone, the whole community will be like, yo, what do they need to go do that to be successful? Let's make it happen for them. All right. But if you're just going somewhere and having something in order and, oh, I went there and I was on time, I took the bus there. But when you're not understanding what decently is decorated, suitable, appropriate, means decorating up your resume. If you go to hand in your resume has to have some stuff where you did some stuff. You work someplace to woo the employer to be like, yo, I want to hire you. Why? Because your resume is decorated. You went here, you worked there, you did this, you did that. Right? If they just see you worked at a place and there's no interest in, they're gonna be like, yo, yeah, seen how much of these people. All right. That's why you say your resume gotta look good. If you have a boring resume, they're like, this is just in order. You just put where you worked, when it was. They don't care about that. All right. So we got to learn about not just doing things, but doing things in a certain way, a decorative way, meaning it's in proper, fitting way. You're beautifying it. You're not just doing it. You're making sure everything is good and in standing order. All right. And that's what the Lord expects from us. All right. The opposite of that is indecorous. All right. Give us that.
Indecorous etymology, indecorous, which is an adjective, 1680, in bad taste, from Latin indecorous, unbecoming, unseemly, unsightful, disgraceful, from in, not, opposite of, without, plus decorous, becoming, fitting, seemingly proper. See decorous. Related indecorously, indecorousness.
All right. So indecorous is in a bad taste. So when you're not doing things and you're not decorating up your resumes, your report cards, all right? Even your home, someone coming, you're like, oh, it's very plain in here. They don't have to come and be like, oh man, I love the thing that I see on the wall. I love how you put that over there. I love how you have that in there. When people come in, they're like, oh, I love all the stuff, how you guys set up everything. All right, it could be plain, and then be like, oh, yeah, it's a place, it's in order, and blah, blah, blah. But when we put love into it and everything, now it's decently and in order. All right, so we have to understand those things. All right, so if you're doing anything, you want to stand out. This is what you're even seeing online right now, but they're doing it in a different way. All right, they're bringing attention to themselves. All right, by decorating. They might be, you know what? Let me eat a pig's head today online and do. This is what they're doing to try to get attention to themselves, right? Because if they're just doing things and they're eating something, no one paid them any mind, right? You'd be like, what? Why am I eating him? Eat Skittles or whatever. But if he has the Skittles and then he takes tomato paste and then he takes something else and puts it there and then he goes and smashes it and then goes. Now it's going viral. Now you're looking at. Now you're like, look at my friend. You seen this right here? They're understanding these principles. I can't just do something. I got to do it in a decorative way. I got to do it in a way that someone sees it. They're like, what is that? Why do they do like that? I've never seen that before. All right, bringing attention to it. So this is why they do this stuff online. If you're just online and you're not getting any attention, guess what? You're probably just going online and posting. That's just order. Decently in order is meaning you're going to decorate it in some way. All right. Then sometimes people decorate things in a good way. So sometimes people come out and they start wearing bad things because guess what? You always see people dress good or whatever. So now they're like, I just dress bad. And this way you see the in Paris, all of that stuff, they looking gothic and on the Paris walkway, you know what I'm saying? Why are they doing that? Because they know you always see the regular stuff. You always see people dressed up in a regular thing in orange. You want to see someone walking down and they look like someone from 2024. I mean, 2024. That would have been out long back in the days, but 2044, let's say. All right. And they have the big boots and the this and the thing on their back. This is what they're trying. They're trying to get your attention. They know that just having something in order is not going to get your attention. All right. And this is, all right, a universal principle. That's what we're seeing. All right, so we're going to go to Matthew 5:20.
It's the book of St. Matthew, chapter 5, verse 24. I say unto you that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall in no case enter into the kingdom of heaven.
All right, so God is telling us to look at the other churches that was going around. Unless we're doing better than them and exceeding better than them, all right, we weren't going to see the kingdom. And we could apply this into your regular day life. Like I said, if you're going to sell a product, if you're going to offer anything to anybody, it has to be better than who's around you. Or else why are they going to come to you? You're not going to see their money. All right. So anybody who's around you, you have to be better than your competitors. All right. That's what Christ is saying. He's like, if you're not better than them, then you're not going to get the kingdom. All right. It's like teams right now. If you don't win, all right, and go into the game and win the play, like it's another team, then they're going to win the championship. They're going to the kingdom. They're going to the White House. You're not going to the White House. All right. As all teams, when they win, they go to see what? They go to see the president or prime. Actually, they don't see the prime minister over here. All right. But in the U.S., they go to see the president. All right. That's what Christ is basically saying. This is a game. If you don't surpass the righteousness of the scribes and the Pharisees, you're not going to the kingdom. All right. They winning. They going. All right. So we're going to go to Dead Sea Scrolls.
This is out of the Dead Sea Scrolls. He shall bless him with the offering of the lips at the times ordained by him, at the beginning of the dominion of light, and at its end when it retires to its appointed place, at the beginning of the watches of darkness, when he unlocks their storehouse and spreads them out, and also at their end when they retire before the light, when the heavenly light shines out from the dwelling place of holiness, and also when they retire to the place of glory at the entry of the monthly seasons on the days of the new moon, and also at their end when they succeed to one another. Their renewal is a great day for the Holy of Holies, and a sign of the unlocking of everlasting mercies at the beginning of seasons in all times to come.
All right, so this is in the Dead Sea Scrolls. We're supposed to, once again, being in orderly, bless the Most High with the offering of the lips at ordained times. This is why we're so hell-bent, well, let's have heaven bent on, hey, being on time, doing things at a certain time, coming here knowing that it's the new year, offering up a feast to the Most High, because the Most High wants us to be on time, be in order, look at the calendar, look at the seasons, at this time, do that, have a schedule. God has a schedule for us. That's why we're here celebrating. Just the same way when you go to school, what does your school have? A schedule for you. On this day is what day? Pizza day, this is the day, is the off day. This is, you have your school year that's in order. The same thing about God. So when you're coming here on a day and it's not the Sabbath, understand that God has told us that at this specific time, you're to have a feast. All right. You're to celebrate this. You're to remember this. The same way the world does it and their new year. They're like, hey, it's 12 a.m. Everyone gonna celebrate their stuff. All right. So it's the same things. All right. But we're just doing it unto God. All right. So we're gonna go to Sirach 17 and 17.
It's the book of Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, out of the Apocrypha, chapter 17, starting at the 17th verse. For in the division of the nations of the whole earth, he set a ruler over every people. But Israel is the Lord's portion, whom, being his firstborn, he nourisheth with discipline, and giving him the light of his love, doth not forsake him.
All right. So in the whole divisions of the earth, God set over an angel over all the nations. But over the nations of Israel, he said, you know what? I'm personally going to be over this nation. Why? Because he's like, I'm going to give this nation my discipline. This comes, the nation of Israel got God's laws, because they're able to operate on their own, make up their own stuff. But God's like, these, my children, they're going to come to here and I'm going to put them under my rule and order. The same way your parents would. Your parents like, yo, you see those children outside? They could do that. You can't do that. You're under a strict order over here. All right. All their parents copy that same likeness. or are supposed to be copying that same likeness. All right. And that discipline is to groom you. All right. Some people are complaining right now when you're getting that discipline. But I guarantee you, if you got the fullness of the discipline and took heed to that discipline, all right, we could all be in a better place right now with our parents. All right. But what were we doing? We're fighting that discipline. We're not understanding that discipline is beneficial for you when you grow up. That when you grow up and you have everything in order, when you're hitting on all spots, all right, in school and everything, that's because of the discipline your parents brought you through. Now, guess what? Go to the army. Now you're going to see real discipline now. Now you're going to be up at 6:30 in the morning. You're not up, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. That's how they are. That's how they have to train you. All right. So when we're disciplined, we're slaving. Your parents is waking you up. Get up. Get up. That's nothing in comparison. All right. Go to jail. All right. They're going to have you up early. All right. Think you're going to be up? They're going to slap you away. All right. You got to get up. Everybody got to get up. All right. So these are the certain disciplines. All right. But obviously, when we're getting disciplined, it doesn't feel good. All right. This is the same thing as the Most High. All right. But he said he gave us discipline as nourishment. All right. Discipline is supposed to be your nourishment. When you hear discipline, you're supposed to think of it as nourishment. Think of it as the same food that you're waiting on right now. That food is a representation of discipline. Okay, same way you want that food right now, you should want parents' discipline. Discipline. What you got from me today? I did something, give it to me. I could do it all. I could knock all of it out right now and then go outside. Yeah, give it to me. I'll do it all. All the homework. I'll finish all the homework. Everything. What can they say now? What can they say? Nothing. You can go outside and do everything. You're showing order. All right. Now you're going to have to come back at a certain time. Doesn't mean you can go unlimited time outside now. Okay. But they're going to start dealing with you in a different way. Outside will deal with you in a different way. There's no way you're showing that discipline and order, and someone's not saying right now they have a big job for you. They have this for you right now. They want you to handle this. You know what? Go move this car for me. Here, go do this for me. That's what they're going to start seeing. People are going to start offering you different things because they're like, yo, this person is responsible. They're disciplined. They're showing order. All right. It might be like, yo, I'm going on a vacation. Come to stay at my house. This call could all be for you. All right. But if you're not showing that day-to-day discipline and thinking everything's a joke and not taking everything serious and showing and putting forth your best effort, then opportunities are passing you by daily because you thinking everything's a plaything and a joke thing. All right. There's nothing playing or joking. All right. This goes into their whole life. All right. We could all be in better places in our life because right now I'm not going to anyone's mansion. All right. I would love to visit one of y'all mansion. All right. So if you ain't got a mansion yet, there's more stuff you can do. All right. Because we should be celebrating this feast in your mansion right now. All right. So obviously there's more discipline that we can do. There's more things we can get in order. All right. And every year we're supposed to come and have that mindset and push towards it like that. All right. So we're going to continue. All right. Give us what nourishment is.
This is the etymology for nourish, which is a verb from the 1300s. Nourishin, quote, to supply with food and drink, feed, to bring up, nurture, promote the growth of development of, end quote. A child, a young animal, a vice, a feeling, etc. From Old French, nourrice them, of nourrice raise, bring up, nurture, foster, maintain, provide for. 12th century modern French, nourrir, from Latin, nutrire, to feed, nurse, foster, support, preserve, from nutri, older form of nutrix, nurse, literally, she who gives suck, from pi, nutri, suffix form, with feminine agent suffix of sna.
All right, stop there. All right, so nourish, to supply with food, drink, to bring up, nurture, promote growth or development. God said he's nurtured us with his discipline. He's give us his discipline as nourishment. All right, discipline is for your growth, your benefit. All right. All those rich children you might see on Instagram, all those things, guess what? Their family have them in discipline, order. Their family had to be in order to get where they're at as well. All right. So we're supposed to be looking at discipline as nourishment. All right. And this year we're putting down discipline for the youth, the children, the adults. It's strict discipline. There's strict order, because order, as we explaining, goes all around into your whole life. All right. Your whole life operates better when you're operating in order, decently and in order. All right. Beautifying the things that you're around. All right. Doing things suitably and proper. All right. Decorative, meaning getting honors, medals, things of that nature. All right. You do that. There's benefit for you from your parents, from all of that. But why would they be angry at you? Why would someone not hire you? Why are we not in the best positions? Because we have to show that. We have to show that decency and order. You have to show that you're more decent than the other people. Same thing Christ is saying. You got to do it better than the Pharisee. If you don't show on your resume, your report card, that you're not better than the other person, they're going to hire the other person. Unless they're your family. All right, your family might choose the other person. They're like, I really know you, and yeah, you don't really do what you say you're going to do. All right. So we're going to continue. So we're just going to go into an understanding. All right. So once again, nourishment is providing what's needed for growth. All right. When you're getting disciplined, when you're getting things in order, when you're told to do things, all right, when you're getting trained, that's for your growth. And like I said, if you're in your peak discipline, you could always be doing better than you were the last year or the year before. All right. So we're going to go into what is Parkinson's law. All right. So a lot of people, I believe, experience Parkinson's, and I believe we especially experience Parkinson's law in terms of the kingdom. All right. So we're going to look at Parkinson's law because they say it's a form of, I guess they could say, yeah, it's a law that works within our minds and our bodies. All right. So we're just going to go into explain what this is so that you can understand it clearly. All right. And then we'll close out.
All right, this is Parkinson's law summary. Parkinson's law is the idea that work expands to fill the time allotted for its completion. This may mean you take longer than necessary to complete a task, or you procrastinate and complete the task right before the due date.
All right. So in Parkinson's law, it says it's the idea that work expands to fill the time allotted for its completion. All right. Everyone went to school, especially in high school. You're like, all right, I have 4 years. They told you all the credits you got to do. All right. And then slowly, guess what? All right. The first year, you're like, all right, now if I just pass it, and then, you start failing. You failed a couple. Now you're like, you know what? All right, let's see. I still got 4 years to do it. As you get to that 4th year, you'll see that, you know what, I'm at this year. Guess what? You might have forgotten what? My community hours, my this, all this different stuff you start forgetting because you thought you had 4 years to complete all this stuff. And your body, your mind automatically says, okay, I got 4 years. It goes into relax mode. Because if you don't have an order down, a decent order down, then you relax. And now the time is catching up to you. And now quickly, the assignment that you're supposed to do is due tomorrow. All right. The teacher told you about it 2 weeks ago. You thought you had a long time. All right. You don't have an order. So when you went home, you didn't get right to it. You didn't do the stuff you're supposed to do right away. You forgot about it. 2 weeks passed, due date, day before. Now what? Now you're stressing on the time. Pressure.
Up late night.
All right. This same thing is happening in the kingdom. All right. God tells you, guess what? I'm coming at the end. You're like, oh, the end time. Yo, that's a long time. All right. I ain't got to go to church. I can go to church the next following week. I don't need to get baptized right now. I can get baptized 2 months from now, 3 months from now. He's coming at the end time, right? The end time is a long time. So your body goes into relax mode. All right. You're not trying to finish up all the stuff you're supposed to finish up to make sure everything's decently and in order. It's the same thing as your assignments. All right. It starts to creep up on you quick. Life is passing by fast. You thought you had enough time. You looked at the time. You stretched it out in your mind. You didn't get right to it. You're a day now before the due date. What are you going to do now? All right. This is called Parkinson's law. This is what they call it, that you allowed that time that you heard in your mind to stretch out, and you automatically filled that whole space up instead of working towards the goal immediately because you didn't have a proper resume. You're like, yo, I can just get to that anytime. And boom, you got distracted. Everything's going on. And boom, day before now. What are you going to do now? Pressure. Up all night. All right. So this is called Parkinson's law. All right. Continue for us.
In this guide, we'll explain how Parkinson's law works and provide tips for getting work done in less time. Parkinson's law. What is Parkinson's law? Parkinson's law is the idea that your work will expand to fill an allotted time for its completion. This law can come into play when juggling work deadlines or managing projects.
All right. So once again, Parkinson's law is the idea that your work will expand to fill the time allotted for its completion. All right. So you're told, yo, you have 4 years to graduate. You're like, I'm going to class every year. All right. I'm not going to do what? The community hours. You could have start doing some community hours. You're like, I got 4 years for community hours. You know, when people call me up and be like, yo, can you give me some community hours quick? Because they thought, yo, 4 years, 20 hours, yo, that's enough time. Now they can't graduate without it. But this is just showing you the Parkinson's law that they told you, yo, you could have did 5, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, all right, a week, real quick. You would have been done maybe in some months. All right, but you're like, you know what? It's enough time, stretching it out. A lot of people at the end of that time, simple things like that, they forgot to do. All right, because they're like, hey, I got a lot of time to do it. All right, so once again, and the same thing is with the kingdom. God told you, all right, Christ is coming at the end. So you're like, yo, God's coming at the end. He's not right now. So your whole body, your whole flesh gets relaxed and not doing the things it's supposed to do to get into peak spiritual form. All right, that's called Parkinson's law. All right, so a lot of people are stretching out the timeline of Christ coming and not getting to themselves spiritually because you're like, hey, he's coming in the end times. All right, how much time they said the end times is here? How much generations said the end is here? So you're like, it's been generations and generations of the end. All right, and that's how most people in the world who give up on the Bible, that's how they think. It's like, when's Christ? He's not coming. No one's coming, right? So they give up. They allotted that time. And they're like, you know what? It's far out anyway. It's not right now. So whenever it happens, hey, if it happens, I guess I'll deal with it. All right, that's how people think. All right, continue for us.
Say, for example, you're given a 2-week deadline to complete a project proposal. You may be relieved knowing you have ample time. However, the distant deadline causes you to take longer than necessary to complete the task at hand, or you procrastinate and complete it just barely before the due date. In other words, the task expands to fill the time you're given.
All right, so once again, they're saying that, hey, you looked at the distant time and it caused you to think you had longer than you thought. Why? Because you weren't doing things in proper and order. If you have a certain resume, if you're doing all of these things consistently every day, all right, then you don't have to worry about that. This time, by tomorrow, I'll be starting to do the homework. I have a day, every specific time that I do these things. All right, but if you don't, that's when these things catch up on you because you're trying to put away a specific time for that thing. That's not what you really do all the time. It's not a part of your resume. It's not part of your order that you have. Right? You're trying to fit it in one day for your order. All right. A diet is something you eat consistently, something you do consistently. A treat is something you have real quick. That one time, I never had that before. A little treat. Boom. Your diet is what you're constantly consuming. All right. So once again, when you hear of a time and a deadline, if you have a proper order, you're going to get to it the next day. If you don't, you're going to fall to Parkinson's law, and you're going to end up making that time catch up to you and being one of those ones that's trying to get it in before the due date, the day before the due date. All right. Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Was it? No. Regiment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have to repeat it. What do you want me to do?
Mm-hmm.
Continue?
Yeah, continue.
All right. The history of Parkinson's law. Cyril Northcote Parkinson was a British naval historian who first introduced Parkinson's law in a let me try this again. satirical essay written for The Economist in 1955. He then went on to write a book titled Parkinson's Law: The Pursuit of Progress. His story in the essay involves a woman whose sole task for the day is to send a postcard. Because she has the entire day to complete this task, she spends an hour finding the card, half an hour finding her glasses, 90 minutes writing the card, and so forth until she fills her day. His story is meant to explain how work expands to fill the time allotted. While Parkinson's example may sound extreme, we've all experienced this at a smaller scale.
All right. So once again, all right. So this person, Cyril Parkinson, British naval historian, he came up with Parkinson's Law, and he made this story, all right, in the book called Parkinson's Law: Pursuit of Progress. All right. It involves a woman. Her sole task was to send one mail out to the post office for the whole day. All right. That's all she had to do. She could finish this task very quick, but because she's like, I have all day to send this postcard, her body naturally starts doing these things. All right. She spends an hour finding the card. All right. So an hour finding the card, half an hour finding her glasses, 90 minutes to write out the card, and so forth until she ends up bringing that card at the end of the day when she could have brought that in at the beginning of the day. And I can tell you this happened to me sometime. I'm like, I have all this stuff. I could bring it in at the beginning, but because my mind knows the UPS truck is not coming to the end of the day, I got to the end of the day, right? Because the UPS truck is not coming right now. Why? I don't need to be there early, even though I could be there early. Your mind automatically starts stretching out the time to, okay, start to fit it around that time that is the deadline, right? Which we're not supposed to do that. All right. And they're saying this is what naturally happens to everybody. All right. Everybody experiences this same thing where the time starts to expand on you. All right. So once again, if we don't put a strict time on something, all right, we will fill out that time allotted with something else. Naturally, the things that you like to do that are just hobbies, not beneficial for you. All right. Work expands the time allotted. All right. So work expands. Once we say, hey, 30-day deadline, your body automatically is not going to do it tomorrow because I got 30 days. You got to defeat that. All right. Because your body's tricking you into the day is going to pass and you're going to see that time come upon you quickly. All right. This is called Parkinson's Law. So once again. All right. So we're going to go to Romans 13 and 11. All right.
And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe.
All right. So it says now knowing the time. So we know the time. All right. That now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For what? Our salvation is nearer than what we believe. Christ is closer than what you think. You're putting that time far away using Parkinson's law, saying, we don't got to worry about God coming now. That's in the end time. So once you hear the end, you already put that all the way down to that's end. That's not right now. That's way back there. So that's what you're doing with a lot of things that we find ourselves doing with God. I don't have to pray. We're looking at pockets of Paul. There's some people that didn't even pray because you're like, I have to pray for all the time, right? God's not here right now. You're not getting this pressure. Some people forget to pray to have that moment to, really repent real quick. Say honest prayer. That's why guess what? If you have a prayer schedule every day, then how can he say you didn't pray? If you have a schedule every day and a time to pray, there's zero way that you could put that prayer away. All right. But in the scriptures, we can see people going up to heaven. He's like, when the last time this person sent me a prayer? They didn't even have a prayer in a year and a half. They didn't sit down and do a proper prayer and pray honestly from their heart to God. That should be impossible for us because on our schedules for the youth, for everybody, there's prayer every day. There should be no day that went by you didn't pray once to God. You didn't bless the food. You didn't do nothing. So these practices, these disciplines is making sure that you're not putting that far away. You're doing it constantly. And you're not suffering from Parkinson's law. So when we're handing out schedules for the youth to bring back daily, all right, and we're going to this year, every schedule we bring out every week, bring those things back so we know what you're doing. All right. Those things got to come back so that we know what's going on. Are you praying? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? We're not intruding on people's life, but we're setting a proper order in people's lives. All right. Adults, youth, and children. All right, continue for us.
Verse 12. The night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness, and let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying, but put ye on the Lord Jesus Christ, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof.
All right, so now we're understanding why he's saying this, knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now our salvation is nearer than we believe. Your body has already put all that stuff to the end. You already are suffering spiritually, Parkinson's law. All right. And what is it saying? The night is far spent. The day is at hand. It's now. All right. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness now, not tomorrow, not 30 days from now, not 2 years from now, not when I get older. That's what there's young youths here, right? So you could be like, I was like that. I was like, I gotta worry about that right now. 30 years, when I'm 30 years old, maybe I'll read the book and pick up the Bible and do something. All right. That's what you start to tell yourself. You're like, I got all my whole life. I can just push the Bible to the end. No, you want to go into it in your young mind now. That's what I did. Now that I'm strong in my mind, I can understand. When you're old, it gets even worse. You don't even understand no more. All right? It's too much stuff going on for you. Sorry. Throat got kind of dry. All right? So we're seeing why he's saying this, all right? Because we're suffering spiritual Parkinson's law. You're not thinking that the time is close. All right. So he's telling you, oh, time now to awake. It's closer than you believe. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us cast off the works of darkness. Let us put on the armor of light. Let us walk honestly now, as in the day, today. All right. Not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envy, but put ye on Christ. Make not provision for your flesh, because what your flesh wants to fill that time allotted with the stuff it wants to do, not the beneficial stuff for you. This is how the world works. When we're talking about the flesh, we're talking about that same spirit that don't want you to do the schoolwork that's going to benefit from you, that can make you a millionaire, that can make you have the job that you want, that can make you provide for your family. All right, get your moms, grandparents in order. This is what it does. It doesn't want you to go complete that. That's the flesh that does that. I don't want to get up to go to school today. That's the flesh that's doing that. Why? That's going to be beneficial for you. Why don't you want to do that? If you don't want to do that, then give me something else that's beneficial for you. But if you're not doing nothing beneficial and it's just your flesh having fun, that's the lust of the flesh. That's what it is. Because what benefit is it doing? It just, the flesh is just having fun with no benefit in the world. All right. So everyone experiences that. Youth, adults, children, everybody. All right. So this is what he's saying. All right. To fight that flesh that wants to put other things in that time and not work on the things of importance and decorate those things and be decently in order to achieve and go further in life. All right, to appease your parents, your teachers, your co-workers, your employers. All right, and your customers, if you have a business of your own. All right, so we're going to continue. We're going to go to Matthew 25. So it's going to show a comparison on those who wait to the end to do something. All right.
It's the book of St. Matthew, chapter 25, verse 1. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom.
All right. So Christ is saying the kingdom of heaven is likened to 10 virgins who took their lamps. So these are lamps. Back in the days, these are lamps that would light up the place. You put some oil in there, you light it, it gives you light. All right. They didn't have lights like these. They had oil lamp lights. All right. So there's 10 virgins who have 10 oil lamp lights. All right. They need that light because without that light, they're in darkness. Okay, so they needed to walk around with this light all around. You've probably seen this in some movies where they're in a cave and they're walking around with that light. That's an oil lamp because you don't have any electricity. You can't depend on battery, none of that. All right, so there's 10 virgins with 10 oil lamps. Continue.
Verse 2, and 5 of them were wise and 5 were foolish.
5 wise. So 5 of them have wisdom. 5 foolish. I mean, 5 of them is dumb. All right, so continue for us.
Verse 3, they that were foolish took their lamps and took no oil with them.
All right, so they that are foolish took the lamp, took no oil with them. What are they saying? This lamp, and you're going to see what it means. Continue for us.
Verse 4, but the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps.
All right, so the wise start to say, you know what? We're going to take the oil in our vessel with our lamps. All right, the other non-wise one, they're like, we got a lot of time. It's not right now. We don't need that right now. All right, continue for us.
Verse 5, while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept.
All right, so the bridegroom taking long. Christ is taking long to come. The end time. You're like, we got a lot of time. I don't need to come to church to get the knowledge, because the knowledge is, let's say that's the oil now. You're like, I don't need the oil. I can always come get the oil. All right, everyone who's wise, they're in the church getting the oil every week. And they're like, yeah, I want load up on the oil. Load me up. Everyone's like, I don't need the oil right now. All right, those are the people who ain't coming. They ain't tapping in. All right, continue for us.
Verse 6, and at midnight there was a cry made, behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him.
All right, so out of nowhere, boom, Christ is here. Midnight, he's here. Christ is here. It's midnight, he's out. He's out in the field. You got to go meet him. Remember, it's back in the day. They don't have light outside. You got to bring the oil lamp, or how you going to find your way to where you at? All right, the ones that are smart, they have their lamp ready to walk outside. The ones that are like, I didn't need to go. It's far away. It's not now. I don't need it tonight. I don't need to load up on oil tonight. I don't need to come to church next week. Christ is not coming the week after. That's how we start to put these things in our mind like that. And then the week that you don't come, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be like, this day, guess what? He's here now out of nowhere. All right. Now he's here. We celebrating with Christ. You're like, Christ is here for real? He came this week? For real? Yeah, he's here now. What? All right. That people will be shocked. That's how he's going to surprise everybody. All right. But if you're constantly doing things consistently, then you don't have to worry about that. All right. You'll be there. And if you aren't there that day, you'll be like, I know why you're not here that day. You're here all the time, but this day you had to do something. I already know that. You excuse, but you're not here none of the times. All right. He's going to be like, there's no excuse for you. This is something you would always have been. Next week, you wouldn't have been here either. All right. Yeah. Try to convince him, I would have been here last week, or I was coming, Christ. I was. No, don't do that. He's not foolish. All right, but continue for us.
Verse 7, then all those virgins arose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us your oil, for our lamps are gone out.
All right, so now they're saying, give us your oil, for our lamps are gone out. So they want some of theirs now, which this could be people now where Christ has come now. Now you want me to break down stuff. I was breaking down stuff every week, 3 hours at a time. Now you are coming over here. Can you tell us what's going on? What are we to do now? What? I got to save my life now. I got to go meet Christ. Teaching time's over. Right? We had classes here how much time? You want a lesson now? Now you want to know the calendar? You're going to stay back how much days and ask me personally. Now you want to ask me about what's really going on now? Mm-hmm. What's happening? Ain't got no time to break stuff down now.
No, you gotta go.
Yeah, here's a lesson.
Yeah,
you can catch up. All right. But continue for us.
Let me read that verse again. Yeah. Verse 8. And the foolish said unto the wise, give us your oil, for our lamps are gone out. But the wise answered, saying, not so, lest there be not enough for us and you. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves.
All right, so saying, go out there and learn from them who got it. We ain't got time for that. Shop closed up. All right, continue for us.
And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came, and they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut.
All right, so those who are ready and have the knowledge in them and truly believe, they're going to go in with Christ. Those who have to, I got to prepare now. I got to go. Oh, what does the Sabbath mean? When is the Sabbath again? Oh, you're done now. You got to go back to the learning board. All right, he's looking for those who's already prepared. All right, continue for us.
Verse 11. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open to us. But he answered and said, verily I say unto you, I know you not.
All right, so he's saying, I know you not. They're like, oh, Lord, open up for me. He's like, I don't know you. I was checking in all the time. I didn't see you there. Now you saying, Lord, Lord, check in for me. Check in. Let me in. Let me in. That's closed. All right. He don't know you. Continue.
Verse 13. Watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour wherein the Son of Man cometh.
All right. So watch therefore, for you know neither the day nor the hour the Son of Man come. What is he saying? That this assignment could come upon you and it could be tomorrow due. And are you prepared for this assignment, this heavenly assignment? Or did you fall a victim of Parkinson's on? You're like, I got to the end of the time. All right, this is a question we got to ask ourselves in all aspects of our lives, not just the church. All right. So that was our message for today. All right. Be decently, do all things decently and in order. Order yourselves. All right. Do things consistently all the time. Then you don't have to worry about that special time. All right. You're always ready for that time. All right. If you're always ready, then you don't have to get ready. All right. That's from my young boy, Deacon Ariya. All right. Shout him out. Bakan, that was our thing. This is the new year. This is the message for this year. Order, order, order. Decently and in order. Nothing else. All right. All things should be done decently and in order. Your schoolwork, your homework, your bedroom, your life, even your friends. All right. Order around. Go. Hey, this is a day when we go out to eat. This is a day when we do this, do these things. Being around friends that don't have that type of order. When you guys gonna see each other? When y'all gonna go out with each other? When y'all gonna hang with each other? You guys have to have a Tuesday we do this, Thursday we do that. Even with families, we do this on this day, that on that day. If you don't have a proper order, you're gonna be like, damn, I ain't seen my family in 5 years. Why? Because no one's holding nothing, no one's doing nothing, no one has order. Let's do all things in order and let's not fall victims to Parkinson's law. This is the message for the new year. All right. Once again, peace and blessings, peace and blessings, peace and blessings. All right. Once again, this is the Essene Community Church of Christ. My name is Archbishop Shamar.
And I'm Bishop Arak.
All right. And we're going to enjoy the new year and feast on this message. This nourishment is discipline. This is your discipline you eating for 2024. Enjoy.
All right, everybody. Shalom. Blessings, blessings, blessings.